Service. I already know the answer. You didn't have your stuff. You left the building. And now you just returned. Thank you. So this ticket is finished. You listen out for this number 83. Okay? So now you're 83. I can answer that.
The caption says, day 3 of me calling the food stamp office.
Day 3 of me calling the food stamp office, and today I'm not playing with their ass. Hey, I have a few questions for you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's people out here that really need food stamps, but y'all rather give them to people who be selling them for a bottle of Don Julio and a few blunts. They ain't even feeding their kids. They just want the money.
Ma'am,
And why it take y'all so long to answer that damn phone? Sometimes y'all don't even answer at all. Why?
we answer the calls in the order they receive, ma'am.
And also, what's the point of asking for pay stubs and income just for y'all to say they make too much? Who the hell are y'all to tell people they make too much money? Why the hell y'all pocket watching folks?
We put the information in the system, ma'am. It's not up to us.
Well, y'all need to change that eat better today so we don't give a fuck about y'all.
Excuse me, ma'am. No vulgar language, please.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. But can you push that application through? You cute and can dress. And I like your hair.
Baby, I don't think that'll get you unqualified any quicker. Have you placed an application with us?
I need y'all to push all the applications through, every single one of them. Could you do that for me? You know, I bet your work chair don't stink after you sit there all day and deny people application. I just know that work chair don't stink.
Okay, I'm done, baby. You have a good day.
Little hair bitch. Day 3 of me calling the...
Oh, wow. So she had a lot of questions. A lot of random questions. But I feel like the main question should have been, why do you have so much idle time to bother people who are actually at work while you claim that you need something to be given to you in the form of cash that you're claiming that you don't have and that without it you will be destitute, but yet you have idle time on your hands to mess with people at work, which clearly shows that you could be working right now. I always find that funny. Don't forget, this is day 3 of me calling the food stamp office. She's investing days. She's got all the time in the world to be on TikTok, to be trolling and pranking people who are actually at work handling their responsibilities, which shows me that you have time and energy for you to actually go and get another job or a job if you don't already have one. And then you probably wouldn't need your application to get pushed through in the first place. So I find that very ironic. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype. The caption says, poor people deserve snacks and treats too.
Most people on EBT are not going to the store buying a plethora of junk or snacks. They are getting food to sustain themselves.
I wasn't playing. You calling this the thing? Are you serious? In a country where we are passing down diabetes, high blood pressure, and future knee surgeries, we got to do better than this. You telling me that y'all can't shop on the outside of the grocery store? Mountain Dew is not the new water. Stop playing with me.
Benefit rule now that just came out about no candy.
The caption says, food stamp junk food ban 2026. Who decides what EBT cards can buy?
Benefit rule now that just came out about no candy, sugary sweets. I feel like what they did is punish the children because, now when the kids go to school, they can't afford to buy candy on Valentine's Day, Halloween, all this and that and the other for their kids. So, but the rich kids, they're going to have that, or just say the kids who are not on benefits. This has been the only way sometimes that the parents have been able to provide, and make them somewhat to an equal to others. Also,
somewhat of an equal to others. Man, what are you talking about? She said all the stuff that she said that she wants to use these government funds for are things that are not necessities. This is supplemental. So if you want for your kids so bad, then that's for you to make up the gap and for you to do a little bit extra. But the supplemental is going to take care of the things that they need. So now you can actually have an opportunity for you to work a little bit harder and bring in a little extra income. And then you can get your kids what they want. That's how that works. People who are intentional about kids that they ultimately conceive typically have a plan in place and a foundation in place so that they can do those extra nice things for their kids. But what we see is a lot of people having kids impulsively with no plan. And so now their kids are brought up in the struggle with them because they weren't ready to have kids in the first place. That's life. You're talking about that's how they can now compare themselves to the kids. Them other kids is going to Disney World. Them other kids is probably going to get a car when they're 15, 16. Were you planning on doing that? Is there a plan in place? Are you working rigorously and improving yourself and educating yourself so that you can eventually give your kids that type of life? I doubt it. So don't then try to hold up the mirror and try to hold other systems accountable that are doing exactly what they're supposed to do and designed to do.
To and equal to others. Also, what about the birthday cakes? I know for a fact I bought a birthday cake off of benefits some years back. Even with my grandbaby, I bought a birthday cake. What's going on? Who are they really punishing with this rule? Tell me what you think in the comments.
Again, I say, you can still buy all of that with your own money, just like millions of other Americans do. I really don't agree with this mindset of everyone who is not on public assistance is rich. She just said, all of the rich kids can have this. Baby, everybody that's not on food stamps is not rich. If you go to a classroom with a bunch of low-income kids, I'm willing to bet that the majority of their classmates are not much better off. Their families might just not be on public assistance. But just because a family is not on public assistance, it doesn't mean that they're rich. It doesn't mean that they don't struggle to buy their kids Valentine candy or a birthday cake for their birthday. They never had the privilege of using food stamps to buy those things because they don't qualify. That doesn't mean that they're well off. And again, I find that argument to be extremely ignorant. In every video that I do on food stamps, I feel that I need to say, for anybody who's never seen my videos on them before, I have been on food stamps twice in my life. Not as a child, as an adult. As a young mother of a new baby and a single mother of a young child. 2 different periods of my life. And I can tell you that the second time I was on food stamps when I was a single mom, when they cut me off after I got a job, I was barely making enough money for us to get by. The budget that I had for food was less than the food stamps I was given when I qualified. When I had qualified for food stamps as a single mom, I had 1 son and he was 6 years old. And we received $220 a month in food stamps. The minute
She actually brought up a good point. And the good point that she brought up is the fact that people conflate things. They just say, because you're not on government assistance, you're just rich and we're poor and we're less fortunate. Less fortunate. I always find that word or that phrase very funny. But that is the assumption. But funny enough, we see a lot of people on government assistance, whether that be Section 8, food stamps, who are actually living a lot better than the middle class. And the reason being is because the middle class still levels out because of the amount that gets taken out of people's checks in the form of taxes. Taxes, the things that actually fund a lot of these programs. So I find it very ironic, and that's why I wanted to flag that. And I thought that it was a fantastic point that she made about that people assume that if you're not on food stamps, then you're just thriving in life. And that is not typical. That is still very much the minority in this world when we're talking about what she said specifically, which is rich.
It's devastating. It created it just basically savaged the safety net.
Starting today, if you don't meet the requirements That means if you start today fresh as far as this new program, you have to prove that you work at least 20 hours a week, or if you volunteer, or you're in some kind of job training program equaling 80 hours a month. If you don't do that, you are no longer required to get the SNAP benefits, and we're talking about 2.7 million people in California receive those benefits. Approximately 500,000 people are in jeopardy of losing that money, which is about $192 per person. We got a chance to talk to the executive of San Francisco Marin Food Bank. Here's his take on what people are doing and what they're doing to try to change that requirement.
We're continuing to advocate. We're continuing to reach out to local, state, and even national to folks to emphasize how important it is to retain these benefits.
You have to work at least 80 hours a month. Breaks down to about $192 per person. If you are pregnant or caring for somebody disabled, then you are not required to meet those requirements at this particular time. So if you are reapplying starting today, you have 90 days to prove you meet all those requirements. If not, then you are not eligible for CalFresh.
HR 1 is...
So let me get this straight. He's saying he needs to advocate against... See, they mentioned it at the beginning, but then the verbiage moving forward throughout the clip was work, work, work. That's not the only thing that you have to do. You have multiple options. You can either work 80 hours. You can volunteer 80 hours. Maybe you go and volunteer at the very food bank that's been helping you out. Maybe they'll go back in the stash and give you the good stuff. Who knows? But you can volunteer for 20 hours, or you can complete job training requirements for 20 hours a week, which would ultimately equal up to 80 hours a month. So you have options, but it's just not worth it. And so they're saying that people are in jeopardy of losing the benefits. Why? Well, there's going to be a natural attrition. And by natural attrition, there's people who are weighing it saying, well, this isn't what I'm used to. And now, no matter how you slice it or dice it, I'm absolutely still working a job. So they're factoring the equation. And they're looking at it and they're saying, okay, 80 hours a month, carry the 2. That's still going to equal out to an hourly wage when I really think about it. See, people start getting real smart, real savvy. They start to understand that they could have been a scholar if they wanted to. And they become scholars and they start doing the math. And so there's going to be a lot of people who just say F it. With me already having to communicate with these people on a regular basis, tell them all my business, stay within certain thresholds. And now the main contentious point that was the thing anchoring me to these benefits, which ultimately is working. That was the main thing that was still keeping me on this program. And it was so nice because for a lot of people, that's their deal breaker. I'll complete all these requirements. I'll do everything you need me to do. Just don't ask me to work. And so now people have to work. And now, yes, there's going to be some attrition because that is their point of contention. That is where they draw the line. And so I think that they are misrepresenting things a little bit. I think it's going to be a lot of people falling off who didn't need it to begin with. Like the woman at the beginning who was on the phone and had all the time in the world to mess with somebody at work, but is just swearing, you need to push my application through, push everybody's application through. And that's the philosophy and the thought process right now, currently in our society.
Say, Trump, I'm begging you, bro. Things ain't been the same, Trump. None sweet, no nothing, bro. Man, come on, Trump. I ain't had a Coke and munch, you hear me? Please, Trump, fix them food stamps back, man. Bring it back, you hear me, Trump? No sweets, no nothing, no nothing, you hear me? No sugar, no nothing, you hear me? No Cokes, no juice, no donuts, no sweets. No nothing. Man, come on, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna need some donations, man. I'm trying to get a 24-pack of Coke, you hear me? It's been 2 months since I had anything sweet since they did that to the food stamps, you hear me? Say.
We just hit, so let's go get it. Let's go get it. Okay. My week is good for like, I think 4 cans for her or 5. I'm not really sure, but they brought it down since she turned 6 months. And
Let's flag something for a second.
let's go get it.
Look at this. Look at this. So right here, we already see she has 2 small children, small enough to be in car seats currently. But what else did we notice? She's also currently pregnant. She's currently pregnant. So she is just one by one. As soon as the baby comes out, she's conceiving another one instantly. But there's no man in the equation, it seems. It seems. Let me not make assumptions, but even if there is one, then why are you on government assistance and why are y'all continuing to have kids? This seems egregious, in my opinion.
Okay. My week is good for like, I think 4 cans for her or 5. I'm not really sure, but they brought it down since she turned 6 months. And it's good for baby food and cereal and oatmeal. I don't usually get the cereal and oatmeal because I don't give her that, but let's get it. We're gonna try 5 just in case. So for foods, I think I'm gonna just get like some fruit, some baby fruit. I'm gonna get peach, mango. Do you not want no peach? She don't like the potatoes. Last time she gave a stink face and gagged at him.
So here's a question that I want to ask the audience. I want to pose to the audience. If she wasn't incentivized to keep having children, especially small children, because I believe that is another thing attached to the work requirements, that if you have small children, they said pregnant, so maybe that saved her. But having small children and being pregnant, I believe, also shields you from having to do the work requirements. So that's why I feel like this could possibly be egregious. But at the same time, whether it's egregious or not, whether it's conscious or subconscious, do you think that she would be having kids if she knew that she would have to be completely responsible after the fact? Do we think that she would be presently pregnant right now? No, I don't think so. I think if she knew that this world is dog eat dog, and as soon as you have these kids, you're expected to take care of them, or you can, y'all, it's just going to be, it is what it is. I think that she would get some sense, is ultimately what I'm saying. I think that she would snap into reality, and I don't think that she would continue to make these choices, these personal choices that she's not personally responsible for.
So, not getting that. Get another peach. And let's go check out. We got it, y'all. That was $128 worth of wig. And I'm so glad that it was on wig. Because, baby, for 5 cans, $100? Girl. And they the little cans, too. Like,
oh, okay.
But either way, we got it. We good. That wig just hit. So let's go get it. Let's go get it.
Yeah. I think she has multiple kids because she's got 2 car seats, unless that car seat is in preparation for the new one coming. But regardless, it really doesn't matter. The point still remains that you're already on assistance. So why are you getting pregnant again? In the easiest time to not get pregnant. See, we give a lot of slack. This, I'm gonna be honest, in this day and age, it's really not too much excuses. I'm going to be honest. Especially if you're talking about lack of knowledge or something, like you didn't know better. There is no excuses, in my opinion. There really isn't. You're not even held to the same expectations as you were in previous generations. And by expectations, I mean that societally it was normal to expect women to have children. It used to be normal. You were expected to have children and have a family and all this. That's not even that normal anymore, to be honest. It's starting to become very common for women to just stay professionals and focus on family in the latter end of their life. So there's really not much excuses. I'm just being real. The caption says, "Oh snap, EBT meltdowns that are actually funny."
Yeah. You got all this money, you get EBT? You got all that money in your bag when you get food stamps?
I used to. It's old.
Gotcha.
I wish I did.
I wish I did too. I gotta pay for food.
Food stamp is for her and her kids. The man has the food stamp card and he in the grocery store buying shit that he want. People see that shit. You know what? They don't give 2 fucks. You know, some kids go to school and get breakfast and lunch, no dinner, because mama not sold the food.
Animals have more worth than human beings. Yes, this is not AI. This is not a skit. These are real people, and these people vote.
I'm not really sure if anybody has said it out loud yet, so I just wanted to make it really clear.
Let me preface, because I think that somebody took his clip out of context, and I'm not going to let them do him like that. He was probably referring to what someone else said as far as the animals, because I don't want him to get that pinned on him. He was probably reacting to something and restating it, but somebody just took the clip and just have him saying it when he was actually possibly rephrasing it after he heard it in a reaction.
And these people vote.
I'm not really sure if anybody has said it out loud yet, so I just wanted to make it really clear.
To bleed fucking money. I'm a fucking student who lives in the richest fucking country on earth. My goddamn taxes should be fucking taking care of me, not bombing people in the Middle East. But no, people in America are fucking starving, and our stupid fucking president is building a goddamn ballroom with money he put in his own fucking...
Y'all watch him. We got to watch him. We need to put him on constant surveillance as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Look at how it froze frame here. He's got that active shooter energy. So we need to watch him, because I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the news.
And our stupid fucking president is building a goddamn ballroom with money he put in his own fucking pockets. He settled a lawsuit with himself with our fucking money, our fucking taxes.
The cops here in Catskill are telling me that it's my fault that I put my human body in the street to be hit by a motor vehicle. The people in the motor vehicle actually got out and started.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what are you doing? She talking about the cops told me. So she got hit by somebody's vehicle. I always find it funny how people want to do things and then they want to cry victim after the fact. You're in the street doing some type of public protest, but you're getting in the street because that's what I've seen that a lot of people like to do now. They like to impede traffic and they like to block cars from coming and as a way of a protest. And so somebody wasn't having it and they said they going, what, did you try to jump in and no, you don't? And then you got hit and now you want to cry victim? That's what we're doing? You can't try to act strong And then when you F around and find out, then all of a sudden you're the victim and you want somebody else to come and claim retribution on your behalf. It don't work like that. The next clip.
When did being on food stamps become an insult?
The next clip just says food stamps ? So this is going to be random, I guess. Let's see what she's got to say.
When did being on food stamps become an insult? I know that there's been a taboo thing around getting government assistance. Everybody thinks that every single person that gets assistance must just be a liar and a mooch, somebody that's screwing the system and they don't deserve help. I was on food stamps for years, and I don't judge a single person who has to be on them. I am proud that my family has worked their way up to a point where we don't qualify. Doesn't mean that we haven't struggled since not being on them, but it is very strange that people use government assistance all the time as some kind of insult. I'm making this video because I am noticing an influx of insults in my comments, which yes, do get to me sometimes, and I do ignore 99% of them, but I'm only saying this because I'm finding it so strange that, like, is there a look? Can you look at somebody and just go, that person's on food stamps? What? Because people are commenting on my videos and they're saying, like, must be nice getting food stamps, and I'm like, excuse me? I have never said that I was on food stamps, and if I was, I would tell you. Like, I just got a comment this morning from somebody commenting on one of my content monetization updates. And their exact comment read such as, you made this much money and you're still getting food stamps? That's insane. I make $50,000 a year and I can't even qualify. This is BS. This is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
them comments living rent free in her head, ain't they? Why do you care? I've never cared about something that's just clearly not true and that I know is not true. Especially to come on here and address it like this. It's clearly getting to her. Have you done food stamp content before? Maybe that's why. Let's take a look. Because this is just too random. So I need to fill in the gaps. Yeah, her top content that she posted was huge Costco haul for a family of 6. Then under that, it says $50 monthly shopping trip for 17-year-old baby boy at the cheapest store. You're doing the type of content, $18 budget meal to feed a family of 6, cooked by a 17-year-old. So we have two things in here that are context clues that could indicate that you're getting benefits. For one, you have an exorbitant amount of kids in comparison to what's normal. You have a lot more kids than the average household size. As well as you do these shopping hauls and trips just like a lot of people getting government assistance. So that's why I wanted to look into it, because you completely left that out of this story, ma'am. And that clearly gives at least some type of clues that you could be. And then people made assumptions based on that. But they didn't just do it based off the way that you look. I hate when people try to misconstrue something and make it seem one way when it's really the other. Anybody, that's an easy thing to assume. Don't just make it seem like, oh, do I just have a face for food stamps? Do I just give off a food stamp face? A impoverished face? Ma'am, stop it. Your content is revolving around subject matters that a lot of people on government assistance typically talk about as well. So that's the reason.
nowhere in this video did I said I get food stamps. My whole content monetization journey is about making my family's life better, trying to contribute more to get us out of a position where where food is hard to get. But even though it's hard to get because it's expensive, I don't get government assistance. It's bothering me though, because these people are saying it in an insulting way, like must be nice. I did an $1,100 Costco haul at the beginning of this month, something that I was so excited to do. I've never spent that much money at one store at one time ever. And that goal I made because of that, because food insecurity is huge. It's been a huge part of my life. I was poor growing up. And when I started making money off of the silly little videos that I post on the internet, that was one thing that I knew I wanted to do, that would mean so much to me, being able to go into a store.
Do y'all really care to hear her just vent about this? People are so emotionally fragile today to where it's so funny, right? You decide to get on a public platform and put yourself out there, but it never once occurred to you that there was a potential for people not to just be supportive and positive, but for them to also just be negative and maybe even be mean from a place that is undeserving, that you don't deserve. But people just be mean just to try to just get in your way and deter you. It never occurred to you that that could happen when people have the luxury of anonymity online. It's no different than when you're driving in your car. Don't people get extra aggressive on the road when they know that they're comfortably in their car and they're just going to drive by and they'll never see you again? People go a little extra out their way to be more assertive than they typically would be, right? It's the same thing with people on the phone. I've noticed people really get out of their body when they're on the phone. I'm not talking FaceTime. I'm talking when on a phone call and the ear to the phone or on speakerphone, people put a little extra on it sometimes on the phone. Even kids, your kids might try it. So I just find that funny. She needs to ground herself into reality and also into the expectations that she came into becoming a content creator with. What were your expectations from the start? You have to take the good with the bad. Otherwise, you can go back to being invisible and you can just simply get offline and you won't have to deal with that anymore because people aren't that bold in real life. Or you just take what comes with it. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also if you could hype. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why we get more points. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So that's why you won't see it. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot. And then also if you want to become a member, then you should see that join button on the video and you can just press the join button. And becoming a member of the DXU family would entail membership badges next to your comments. So it would show people visibly that you are a member. And then also you would get early access to content as well as exclusive content. So again, if you want to become a member, then you can press the join button right there. And until then, I'll catch you in the next video.